It is a sport that goes all the way back to the days of the Roman Empire and has sometimes been referred to as the poor man's horse racing. But a man on the Mid-Island says pigeon racing is a rich tradition and it's a lot of fun. CTV's Chandler Grieve checks it out.
Welcome to the sport of pigeon racing. It all starts out with just one of these little teeny eggs.
They have names.
Yeah, that's Turbo. He's good in the real short, fast races.
Big expectations.
He's got good form. You can tell by the color on his neck.
And a devoted coach.
Love at first flight.
Love at first flight. Yeah, that's good.
What some consider a pest or a nuisance, Doug Chadwick considers a champion in the making.
Yeah, and the nice white beak. It's like people with dogs and with cats and with horses. Mine was, I've always liked birds, and I had chickens and that anyway. And it was just, I don't know, it was something that was in me. And it started this big fascination for pigeons.
And with that fascination, Doug has turned his Chemainus backyard into a training ground for racing homing pigeons. Like any good coach, Doug knows how to spot his strongest players.
Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe almost went in the camera.
Yeah.
In this case, it's Fred the Red, his ace in the hole.
Fred the Red has seen it all. He's
a veteran.
He's a grizzled veteran, yeah. They didn't know me the first year I went there, and I ended up winning the race, so it just started, and they asked my buddy all the time, is that guy from the island in this race? And
Fred may be the star, but he's just one of 72 on Doug's team, and Doug claims to know them all by name. Domestic pigeons are supposed to have an innate homing ability, but it appears there are some exceptions, and Seattle Flu is one of them.
he was in a race from here on the island, I think coming from Nimkish, and he kept going, and he ended up sitting on a lady's roof in Seattle, and a week later he came back home. So I named him after the great racehorse, Seattle Flu.
Once used to transport important messages and strategies on the battlefield, the homing pigeon's role has all but died with the advent of technology. But this self-proclaimed rare bird refuses to let the sport fly away.
It's the oldest sport known to man. It goes back to the Roman Empire, and so people have been racing pigeons forever and ever and ever. And it's just, I don't know, people just don't seem to realize how much fun it really is.
Birds of a feather do tend to flock together, and Doug says the Mid-Island Racing Pigeon Society is always looking for new members. Doug's even willing to help them out with his secret feeding recipe.
Peanuts. Yeah, peanuts for the long races and brown rice. Yeah.
The Breakfast of Champions. Chandler Grieve, CTV News, Chemainus.
She was one of my better flying young birds.